What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thinking back to the days when many of us were kids, I fondly remember visiting Disneyland and experiencing attractions for the first time, such as the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Space Mountain, both of which I'd find myself riding over and over again. Not thinking too much of where they came from, both of these coasters were built by a company known today as Dynamic Attractions years ago, and have been thrilling riders ever since. But after the addition of those two rides, the company seemed to back away from the design of roller coasters, and we didn't see any new additions. That is until now. Well, sort of. However, their introduction back into the roller coaster industry hasn't been done risk-free, and in fact, I think what they're introducing, and what I'm covering in today's video, might just be the most technically amazing, and at the same time nightmarish thing ever. No joke, more so than Hagrid's magical grocery list, and if they pull it off, I think it will be one of the best roller coasters we've ever seen, and maybe on a top 10 list for some of you enthusiasts. But unfortunately, it sits finished today since the year of 2018, never having been open to the public, and still continues to sit this way even as we speak. So what happened and why? This is the story of Ferrari World Abu Dhabi's Mission Ferrari. Dynamic Attractions was a sister company to Dynamic Structures that was founded in 2011 with the sole purpose of soliciting sales for Dynamic Structures ride systems. After helping with a project closely involved with Disney, the company entered the theme park ride system sector officially and were awarded additional contracts by Walt Disney Imagineering to produce the ride systems for rides like Soarin' over California and Test Track as a result of the project's success. Moving on to July of 2017, the Dynamic Attractions company then merged with the Dynamic Structures company's riding system division, and as a result, has started to see the addition of new and improved roller coasters, though keep in mind, Dynamic Attractions had already been working with rides of this type prior. That then brings us to the rides themselves, which are a new and innovative kind of roller coaster, referred to by the company as an SFX coaster. Essentially, these will be high-powered dark rides that will explicitly use LSM launches and lifts, to provide what Dynamic Attractions has said to be a, quote, dark ride combined with a roller coaster featuring high-speed launches, complex track effects, and precisely controlled dark ride movements, providing the perfect ride system for action-packed storytelling attractions. And this is no exception for the star of the show today, Mission Ferrari. Mission Ferrari started construction in 2014 at Ferrari World Abu Dhabi and rose relatively quickly. With track manufactured by Qiguang Group, a Chinese manufacturer, this coaster is said to be around 1,800 feet long and reach speeds of up to 45 miles an hour. Though the track itself was finished early though, arguably the largest part of the ride, the theme and mechanics behind it, most definitely weren't. This was to be expected though, considering how ambitious the project was, and an opening was initially set to take place back in the year of 2017. Well, as you can imagine, 5 unique launches and all the different types of track-changing elements on the ride delayed that opening, and in fact, we didn't see any initial tests until 2018. But to the credit of both the park and the manufacturer, I think at this point it was still reasonable that the ride was closed, given the technicalities behind it. And to start, I'll mention one of those technicalities, which is something we've actually never seen done on a roller coaster before, a side slide. Essentially, and we have footage of a prototype, the element does what its name implies and slides riders left or right on an angled piece of track. This alone is enough to give a ride downtime, but Mission Ferrari will also feature a full-blown drop track, of to which extent height-wise is currently unknown, and a tilt track, which is also another element in which a section of track is completely detached from the layout. Not to mention, 3D projection domes will be located all throughout the ride, as seen on many of Universal's attractions like Harry Potter, and multiple other track elements as you can see listed here. This on top of 2 inversions, of which we can clearly see one as a corkscrew and the other we're not sure yet, makes it seem like to me be maybe one of the most ambitious projects on a roller coaster we've ever seen done before. And I will say as well, it has a pretty cool theme surrounding a sort of spy-like chase after what I heard was a show they had in the park, so that's another interesting aspect of this ride as a whole. So what about today though? I mean, it's nearly 2022, and everything I just said took place in 2018, 4 years ago? Well, the good news is, earlier this year we saw footage of it operating again, and this time making full test cycles. Bad news is, there's still no set opening date, and Ferrari World and Dynamic Attractions have been fairly quiet about it. At the same time, I know people said this last year about 2021, but I really do think 2022 will be its opening year, and because we've been seeing consistent testing, consistent being the key word, my guess is they're working out a last few kinks and getting really close to a finished project. I also did a quick search on Reddit as well, and just over a week ago, another enthusiast caught it testing whilst visiting the park. So hopefully, we'll finally see this 7-year in the making now project come to be in 2022, and I can only hope the best for the park and dynamic attractions. But as always, that has been just yet again another history of a crazy, bizarre, and mysterious coaster kind of lurking in the background in the community, and if you have any suggestions or comments about it, feel free to leave those down below. It's been a major pleasure creating new content for you guys too, and I'd like to quickly ask if you could please subscribe to the channel to help me make more content, because it really is difficult, but it's well worth it, and I really enjoy making these. Besides that though, stay tuned for another video coming in a couple days, and until then, we'll see you all there. See ya!